Goldies, welcome to my channel. I am Courtney Noel, and clearly I am Courtney Noel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you are an oldie but a Goldie, hey girl, hey boy, hey, welcome back to my channel. As my Goldies know, if you see a scrub top with a stethoscope, this is going to be a nurse related video. So listen, we are in our PACU Nurse series. I've dropped these little gems here and there. And today we're going to talk about receiving PACU report. So if you like, child, I'm trying to go into the PACU, I'm a new nurse, I'm trying to see what's tea, what's good. If you're like a seasoned nurse and like, child, let me see what she talking about, how they do it over there. Or if you just want to be plain old nosy, go ahead and stay tuned to this video. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe and ring my bell. Ring my bell, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Ring my bell so you can stay notified of my weekly videos. Okay guys, so as I said in the intro, this is going to be a PACU video, and I'm just so excited, and I'm actually shocked at how much you guys enjoy these PACU nursing videos. So when you guys are in the comments and you're like, I want more PACU videos, I was thinking to myself, how can I add value to you all when it comes to the PACU, especially since it's requested. And I thought back to my days as a preceptor, and one thing that is different about the PACU opposed to other specialties is how you receive report and who you receive report from. So no matter what specialty you're in, yes, you definitely know how to give report, but I think in PACU it's very important to know how to receive and who you are receiving report from and what's important to know. So with that being said, let's get into what you should be receiving or how to receive report in the PACU. Okay, so there are two parties that you should be receiving report from: anesthesia and the OR nurse. And I'm gonna go over in sequence how it typically goes, because I want it to be like a real live or real world experience. So say your patient is coming out, you're doing your across the room assessment. Patient is breathing on their own. They're sleepy, but they're breathing, chest rising and all that stuff. You hook your patient up to the monitor. You start the EKG, O2 sat, blood pressure, and if you have A-line, you set that up as well. Typically, the first person you're going to get a report from is going to be the OR nurse, just because their report is quicker and you want to have a set of vitals and make sure this patient is stable prior to receiving a report from the anesthesia. What you should be getting from your OR nurse is, number one, what type of procedure that you've had. Of course, you got a little brief discussion from your charge nurse or whoever running the board. And guys, let me know in the comments if you are using specific report sheets in your facility. I really want to know, because I've worked in a lot of places. Some people have report sheets that are given by the facility that you take report, some don't. So just out of curiosity, drop in the comments, let me know if your facility has a specific report or report sheet. Anywho, when you receive the patient, the OR nurse should tell you what type of procedure the patient had, how many sites and drains are there. If your patient had a lap chole, how many portholes? If your patient had some type of urologic surgery, do you have a CBI going? You know, or some type of lungs, thoracic surgery, are there any drains? If it's ortho, any pin rolls? Is there a chiro cuff? All those things should be told to you by the OR nurse. Also the type of dressing. So you want to know, they're going to tell you typically what they close with and what's on top. And that's important because number one, you're going to be giving that report as well. But maybe you might have somebody or might have a surgeon who wants to come and change the dressing. You might need to be prepared for that. It's knowledge that you keep, because it needs to be, number one, passed along, or you may have to use it right then and there. Also, you need to know Foley output, urine output. So they're going to tell you, hey, yeah, we put a Foley in, the Foley came out, you got however many mLs out. And also they're going to tell you if they left the Foley in. You know, that's a big deal, this Foley and all these nosocomial diseases. So that is something that you should get from the OR nurse as well. Now, once that's said and done and you're comfortable, make sure, I cannot stress this enough, if you don't take anything away from this video, when you are getting a report from the OR nurse, check your site. Pull the covers back, pull the gown up, whatever it is, and wherever the procedure was done. you need to check the site with the OR nurse, because it needs to match what they're saying, because if it doesn't, you need to get some clarification. Do not let that OR nurse walk away without both of you guys checking the operative site. I repeat, do not let the OR nurse walk away without checking the operative site with that nurse, okay? If it's visible. Listen to me good, because somebody can tell you something and it not be what they saying. So just, okay, that's just your gem. If you don't take nothing from this video, take that with you. Now we're going to transition over into anesthesia. So when you're getting a report from anesthesia, also, of course, you're going to be checking your vitals. If your vitals are not appropriate, say for instance, the patient has a very high blood pressure, or they're not breathing appropriately, that's when you need to be addressing that with your anesthesia right in there. Say, hey, did you give him any type of medicine in the case to bring down his pressure? His pressure is kind of high. Have to address it. Don't be afraid to question your anesthesia personnel about this patient, because once they walk away, they don't really sign off, but you want that patient to be coasting when they come out as much as possible. If your patient comes out and they're flailing in pain, you need to say, hey, you know, the pharmacy not going to put these orders in that quickly. Can you go ahead and give them a little something before you go, because they're in pain? Those are things you have to address right in and there with anesthesia. They should be telling you the fluids, the eyes and nose, how much they gave, how much came out. You will know that with the Foley from the OR as well. You need to know that, because sometimes you might have some issues with the imbalance, the fluid imbalance. You might see the patient is starting to get hypotensive because they didn't give enough fluids, or vice versa. Those things matter. How long was the case? You know, depending on what type of procedure it was, how long was the case? What type of pain meds did the patient get throughout? Did they get most in the beginning? Did they get anything in the end? How antiemetics, did they get anything through the case? Anything that is going to be, you're going to have to manage on the back end. Did they have to give albumin? Did they have to give those different things in the case? Because that is going to determine what you may have to do when this patient is yours now, as you're managing them and recovering them from anesthesia. Also, airway. Depending on the type of procedure, what type of anesthesia they had, you need to be also, that will let you know how advanced was the airway. Did they intubate it? Was this just sedation? This is going to give you all types of, and also the medication that was used by the anesthesiologist in the case. So they may have done intubation, so they're going to do certain type of neuromuscular blocks and all that good stuff. You need to know this information, because it may affect how you care for the patient afterwards. Okay, always before you let the anesthesia personnel, I want to just say anesthesiologist, because you may have a CRNA, or you may have an AA, or you may have an anesthesiologist. Whichever way it goes, you want to ask your questions. Also, something that I haven't talked about a lot on this is blocks. So you want to know if this patient had a tap block, if this patient had a spinal, if this patient just had one for the leg. Like, you need to know if they had blocks, all those different kind of stuff, all those different type of interventions, because that is going to determine how you care for this patient going forward. If you're doing C-sections, if they got spinals, you know that they can't leave. You have to check your dermatomes. All those different things matter. So I think anesthesiologist is the most important report, because that's where you're going to get the information that is needed. So, but one thing I can say about anesthesia, when you get a report from them, they don't just walk away from the case. They don't get off the hook, right? They are still responsible until the patient gets signed out. So just be mindful of that, but you don't want to have to be running them down for things information you could have got right then and there when they were in front of your face. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope these tips were helpful. Drop me some comments below and let me know was it helpful, and did you learn anything about receiving and reporting the PACU. But I want you to know this, as always, never forget it. I love you, but God, He loves you so much more. God bless you.